All right. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We can start on my countdown timer and click an I am back, and we will play some poker. Back to or just on our normal 2-cent, 5-cent table today, and we are still working on our bankroll challenge. We're at about 3.5 buy-ins up since we started, over about 8 days. So about half a buy-in a day, not bad. Like somewhere around 50 big blinds a day. I'm sure that won't be sustainable. I'm sure we're running pretty hot right now, but it still doesn't feel too bad. We'll take it while we can get it, and just try to keep playing sound poker. That's the goal of this stream, is play some sound poker, learn now, make the mistakes now, so that when we move up in stakes, the mistakes won't be as bad. So yeah, we are just waiting to get in here. All right, so here we go. First big blind, and 6 queen offsuit. Probably not great. Let's see what we... Yeah, even facing the dealer, we let that go. So we are going to be playing pretty relatively tight. The goal is to just kind of keep the same range regardless of where we go in these stakes. And I know that it kind of sucks playing tight on online poker, especially with one table. The goal will be to start multi-tabling as we move up in buy-ins. So, and actually that was something I was going to do that I forgot now. Let's see here. Jack King offsuit in the small blind. Yeah, I think we play that. And we get top pair, so we'll just keep barreling. I don't think that's very good for him. He re-raises. 4, 5, 8. So 6, 7. Does he have 6, 7 under the gun? Doesn't feel like it. Now the ace 2 gets there. Not super happy about that. I guess we'll just check it and see what he does. Oh, split pot. Okay. I'll take it. We just let the rake kill us there. Jack Queen offsuit will also play if it comes to us. Somebody raises, probably not. Yeah, it looks like it's... So that is not in our range when we face an RFI from the hijack. And probably a good thing we did that. 7-2. So yeah, so I will put out my bankroll challenge rules on the Twitch channel description pretty soon here. I kind of have a structure based around how many buy-ins I have I'm making for that stake. So basically it's going to change every 10 buy-ins that I win, and then it'll go back if I lose 5 buy-ins. And we'll try that. We'll see how it goes. From the cutoff here, Ace Jack offsuit is going to be playable. I should have actually missed the fact that he had limped here. Moving too quick. Where's my water? Take a sip of water, calm down. Remember to look at the table. No need to play Zoom style. So this guy, button, goes pretty heavy here. I don't think Ace Jack is quite good enough to face a 3-bet? No, it's not. And probably a good call. This guy looks like he is ready to tango. He just wants to go all in. I bet he goes all in this hand or next. Okay. Jacks versus Queen Ace. Wow. That guy was really hoping there was going to be no aces or queens on the river. That was a bit of a gamble for him, I think. But worked out. I mean, what? 6 outs? I mean, it's going to be like queens, kings, aces, so you figure 9 outs? Assuming that the opponent has... that's a little dangerous. A bit of a... a little bit of a coin flip there. You figure anything queens plus has you beat. So let's see. So I'm punching in the Equilab here. Your equity is 56% in that spot. Somewhere around there. 64% with the turn. Anyways. So if we do like, yeah, so an all number flop and you have pair jacks, you have 72% equity against somebody with queens or above. Interesting. 72% enough to go all in? I guess it's not bad. All right. Hey, thanks for watching the stream. We're just playing some 2-5-cent poker here, and looks like we get a decent pot or a hand to play, so we will play it and see what happens. Ace queen suited on the button. This guy is just gonna let it go. Timeout. He's gonna play it. Okay. Now we get top pair. I think we just barrel here. We see bet. See what he does. I think we will... one big blind, we re-raise him. Maybe he has a pair of queens? No? Okay, he just lets us have it. Let that go. So we get a small pot. I guess we could have strung him along. I don't know. That felt kind of weird. Min raise. I think you re-raise a min raise with top pair, top kicker. That wasn't a very dangerous flop, I suppose, is my thought there. 2 queen, what was it? 2 queen king. Now this board's interesting. You have 3 possible straights. Oof. Okay. Hopefully we can actually get some players in this. It looks like 2 people at least are sitting out. Just kind of annoying. We don't get a great hand, so we'll just wait. We might be able to limp in here. Yeah, we do. And we get middle pair. We'll check it. No need to bet aggressively out of position here. And he's probably upset at me getting him out of the last pot, so I think we will... I think we fold this. There's no reason to stay in, right? think so. Certainly could be a bluff, but... Okay. Wow, so yet again, on my streams, it seems like the first 10 minutes is the craziest, and then it's dead for the next hour. So we got to get all these crazy hands out of the way, and then it'll cool down. So queens, I mean, we basically, shoot, I think we 4-bet it from the small blind. Yeah, we 4-bet it. So that's what, 15 big blinds? We'll see what happens here. We might be losing all of our money, guys, to aces or kings. We'll find out. See what this guy does. See if he's gonna fold it. He does, he folds it. Okay, we make a quick 12 big blinds. Nice. I'll take it. Scoop those small pots. That's how we do it in micro stakes. And facing an over 2-bet, I think we let it go. Alright, so those will be all of our crazy hands, and then you can just tune out now because we won't have anything else for the next hour. It's almost guaranteed. That's just how every stream has gone. Maybe at the end we get something crazy right as I say I'm gonna leave. That's when the last like aces or kings comes out. But other than that, it should be a big valley of excitedness on our time graph here. King 5, same thing. Let that go. Yeah, that was interesting. 4-bet from the small blind. You don't see that too often. Maybe the dealer was a bit caught off by that. The button dealer, however you want to call him. This graph says 4-bet all the way down to jacks, which in the small blind, which surprises me a little bit. That almost seems a little too aggressive to me, but that's all right. Okay, ace 4 in the hijack is playable. We get a call from cutoff. And what are the small blind and big blind gonna do? I'm sure the big blind has been kind of annoyed with the way these pots are going. Oh, okay, he lets it go. And not a great flop for us. We miss any suits. We theoretically have straight draw, but it would require 2 cards. Backdoor straight draw, is that what that is? You need 2 cards in a row. It's basically very, very rare in terms of the statistics, so I'm not going to put too much bank into that. So now we whiff again, and I think we just keep checking through. Oh, and we hit the ace on the river, but we got to be a little scared. I mean, it could definitely ace 10, ace 2, ace 7 or 8. These are all very possible hands. Very possible that somebody has 2 pair here. Yeah, we'll go half pot. Just see if somebody re-raises, we fold. There is a flush. I mean, maybe we're repping the flush here. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Oh, and we take it. I guess nobody else had spades. I imagine that bet sizing helped us. We went half pot instead of a third pot. Seemed to scare people off a little bit. I'm a little surprised. It seems like it's kind of a tight table so far. We just we got to fold to our 4-bet. We got to fold to our river bet. Fair amount of folds so far. We'll take it though. Means our graph's going up and to the right. That is good. So we'll take a look at what happens here. We do get a bet from the hijack. We'll see if small blind folds, big blind also folds. Okay, so we don't get to see what he had. Move on to the next hand. We are in big blind. We get 10-9 offsuit. Not happy about that. And now we're getting a limp. This is not in our kind of ISO raising range, so I think we just let it go. Yeah, and we get actual bet from cutoff. So 10-9 offsuit, not in range. Oh, and interesting, he calls. Limper calls. What's gonna happen here? Let me know if the Spotify audio is too loud. It looks a little hot on the graph there. So this is an interesting board just because it's so low. It's very rare, like, I mean, 4-3-3, there's very few combinations of that. So it's kind of a non-standard flop, but then we get a high card, we get a third diamond, I should say. There are some straight draws that come in, so ace-5 has a straight, and any 2 diamonds has a flush, so this has the potential to be a big hand. I think we definitely would have gotten out if we were still in by the time the flop came. But number 6 folds again. Interesting. So in small blind, okay, I think this music is a little too loud. There we go. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit too, just so it's not as hot on the stream. So small blind 7-8 offsuit, 8-7 offsuit says it's a fold in the chart. Well, I guess we'll listen to the chart. Oh, I missed it. He bet. Okay. Let's pay attention to the music, not the table. Gotta focus. We would have had the flop straight. Oh well. I don't think 7-8 offsuit is normally a call very often. Man. I mean, since we blocked the 7-8, they don't know that though. Like, they don't know that. So it's going to be pretty rare that there's going to be another 7-8 out there. See what happens though. If somebody really does have it, then they're... Nope, pair of 3s takes it. Wow. Talk about a low pair. Okay. I guess that was a 2 pair. Yeah, 6s and 3s. Interesting. King 5 from the button, not quite good enough to play. So yeah, I think the excitingness is over. The RNG has decided that we are no longer going to get any good hands for a while. Probably until the end of the stream. So I'll let you know when it's like 5 or 10 minutes on our countdown. You can tune back in. Right now it's 55 minutes on our countdown, so put your timers for, I'll say, top of the hour, 5 o'clock my time. Queen 6 in the cutoff, again, not good enough. So player 6 has been, he is so far folded to a c-bet. Well, 1 out of 1 times. He's c-bet 1 out of 2 times. He has folded to a 3-bet 1 out of 1 times, but he's 83% for VPIP, which was pretty wild. I mean, he's basically playing every single hand here. Not very much considering our small sample size of 19 hands, but still. Alright, so King 9-2, two-tone, King high. A king and 2 low numbers, I suspect, well, I don't know, Cutoff's gonna have a fair amount of kings in his range here, depending on how wild he is. Small blind is gonna have a fair amount of numbers in his hand, so... And now it's ace-king. Interesting. Small blind must just have gotten lucky with an ace-king or something. I don't think he's doing that with a flush draw. I think he's doing that with top pair or 2 pair. King 8 in the button. I mean, we'll check. I don't think we call. No. Even if the button bets here, we fold. If the small blind bets, we actually would... Okay, we'll check it. Wow. I'm not sure what to do here. We called, so there's no real... Either of us... I guess he theoretically was the last one to bet, so we'll give it to him, but... With a monotone board like this, it's risky with the ace and monotone on the board. He min bets. I mean, we do have second pair, but I can't imagine there's a lot of equity here. We're basically just hoping for a pair king, a 2 pair with the king, so that would be like 3 outs. So I think we'll let it go. I can't imagine he has much there. Or, I mean, I can't imagine King 8 is very good there. We'll put that in the tracker just to see, out of curiosity, what our equity was with that hand and whether it was would have made sense to call. 10-2 offsuit. I don't think we continue with that. Doyle Brunson hand, I guess. I had my family over for my birthday a few months ago, and wow, it was only a month ago. That's weird. And yeah, I had some extra time today. My code was taking a very long time to compile, and coworkers are out. Other teams that dependencies are blocking me, so. Slow day, just gonna do a Monday stream. Yeah. No pressure or anything. I did, on Sunday I played by myself and made up like most of the loss from the last stream, so that was pretty nice. So we're back up to 123 before this stream started. We were down to like 120 because we lost a whole buy-in. So that was good. Yeah, just a chill day. Chill day, chill stream. Thanks for watching. I found this amazing stream this morning. I like wanted some interesting music, and so I turned on Twitch and looked through the DJ sets, and there's this guy, DJ Alpha something, and he had a coffee and donuts DJ set of 70s one-hit wonders, and it was really good. I was legitimately impressed. It was just, yeah, his stream was a blast. Would definitely recommend it for if you need some little motivation while you're trying to get some boring work done. He does every Monday through Friday. All right, so we open this up. And we get a call. Moo Mall Squad. Alright. This guy what's he gonna do? Oh, he's just gonna call. And we get top pair on a rainbow board. There's some connectivity here. Like a 9 Jack would have a straight draw. Jack Queen is also hoping for a 9. So I think we just c-bet it here. I'm gonna go 50%. I need to do some studying as to when to do different bet sizings. I think I went a higher bet sizing here for a few reasons. I have range advantage. I was the pre-flop aggressor. There were 2 other people in the pot. So, and you know, most other hands are just going to be catching up to me, potentially hitting straights. So yeah, just went 50% to try and make any draws a little more pricey, and seemed to work. That was nice. I was expecting to not have any hands for the majority of the middle of the stream here, but we had a nice, fun ace-queen suited there to play. That was nice. And we get a little bit higher here. We've it's been a very tight table, honestly. I think I don't know if we've had a single hand to showdown, honestly. Another. All right, so we're gonna 4-bet this guy. He is cut off. We would be out of position. Yeah, our range says we do it. So 8.4 big blinds. I mean, so 24, 25 big blinds. What we're gonna do here. See what he does. He calls us. Not a great board for us. He probably, I mean, our ranges are right about the same. So I think we're just gonna c-bet it here for half pot and see what he does. And he gives it to us. Wow. Okay. I don't think we've gone to showdown a single time this stream. That was honestly a bit surprising. I guess he was kind of playing tightly to protect his large stack. That's the only explanation I have for that. I'm also gonna go, that's one that I should mark as review for explanation time. Mainly because I'm wondering if that, I don't know, if the odds are, if I'm punting there with like not connecting to any of those numbers. But, so I mean, if he has like, I guess what I was betting is that because based on his position, he doesn't have a lot of low paired numbers like 3s or 5s. Especially one that he's calling a 4-bet to. Okay, so this we can just let go. We have pair 9s. No flush draw, but it's a 2-tone board, so somebody else could have a flush draw. Somebody else could have a straight draw with Queen Jack. Very likely that somebody at least has an ace or king. And we make a set. I think we check through until the river here. I don't know. Yeah, we let somebody else be the aggressor here. In a 4-way pot, I'm really surprised nobody's betting. I guess we have to make up for some time here. And now, of course, the flush draw comes in, so we're just gonna bet 1.2 big blinds and see what happens, and then everybody's gonna fold to us, I guess. Sheesh. But yeah, 2 spades takes it here, so I would expect 2 spades to bet super heavy. In which case, I think we fold. It would be tough to fold a trip, and we take it. Okay. Should we have bet that turn? Should we have bet it when we made the trips? I mean, I feel like if we had, it would just have been super obvious, but maybe these people are just all calling, regardless of what we bet? I don't know. Yeah, that was an interesting hand. Trip 9s. I'm a little surprised nobody had the 2 spades. A little surprised that nobody bet flop or turn. I don't think it was on me to bet. I don't think I was the pre-flop aggressor. I just checked. I think I was in big blind. So we get a bet from the button. We are small blind. We have ace 10 suited. I guess we go for this. I'm not super happy about it. Actually, is that a misplay? 2 bet, 3 bet? We're out of position here, which isn't great either. We only hit 1 diamond. It's a paired board already. But he bets very, very small. So we have 12% odds. That's definitely enough for a flush. Our flush draws, turn and rivers 4%. Okay, I'm gonna call it. See what happens. No diamond. No pair. I think we let it go if he bets again. We're getting 15% pot odds. But really, we're just trying for, what, like 6 outs? So, yeah, I think we let that go. It's not going to show us. All right, bud. No, well, he probably didn't have the jack. Either that or he had quad jacks. Not sure. But either way, I don't think we're doing too great there. If he had a pair, if he paired like a low number, then he has the house. I feel like he double barreled there. I don't know. He's either bluffed pretty well or he had the nuts. Either way, I think we were just at a disadvantage there in a lot of different ways. So that's all right. We're still 30 big blinds up for the session. That's not bad. We've actually been playing a lot of hands since we started the stream, so that's been kind of cool. King 7 is not good enough to play. I am getting some work slacks, so let me rudely check my phone while we're in the middle of the stream here. Shoot. Okay. Well, I think we're good. I think the fires have been put out at work. I could have done some extra work before I started the stream, but I started the day at 7 a.m. and wasn't super in the mood to put in a 10-hour day at work, so decided to just stop at 3. Oh, I watched the Matt Vaughn saga about the Ignition tournament, I don't know if so this is the story. Basically, there's a Twitch streamer. He also plays Ignition and was streaming a couple months ago, back in February, and he had bought in for $500 for a tournament where the first place winner wins $130,000, and he won while he was on the stream, and it was crazy. And he made a YouTube video about it, and I watched the YouTube video, and it was a wild ride. And so I actually just had watched that YouTube video like a day or two ago because I know he's like a popular vlogger, and I'm trying to kind of watch other people play and learn strategies and whatnot. And so watched him play. And then today he after 2 or 3 months of radio silence on his YouTube channel, he posted an update that he essentially only got what did he say? I think like 30 grand or something, 20 or 30 grand out of it. And the reason is that he was playing from a state where it is illegal to play any non-sanctioned online poker. So the way online poker laws work in the US, it's very weird. The only national rule against online poker is that banks and credit card processors cannot take money directly from these online casinos. So now, with the rise of Bitcoin, places like Ignition and stuff will basically just cash you in and out through Bitcoin. And then it's up to you to change your Bitcoin into dollars and put your dollars into your bank account. So that is theoretically legal, although I suspect that there's going to be money laundering laws around Bitcoin implemented in the next few years. Be very surprised if that doesn't happen. But anyways, so that is kind of this. So now, all that being said, if you are in a state like I am, like in Oregon or California, you are good to go. You can play Ignition Casino, you can play these big tournaments and cash out, and it's no big deal. It is legal for now. Now, that being said, there are some states where they have implemented state-sanctioned online poker. So PokerStars, one of the most famous online poker companies, has for example, has a Michigan-only version of PokerStars that you can play. And the way it works is that they applied through the Michigan state legislature and process to be a above board licensed operator of online poker in the state of Michigan, right? And so there are states that do that. Nevada, New Jersey, Michigan, and so if you live in so basically now where the rub is that if you are in one of those states, it is against the Ignition Casino terms of service to play Ignition Casino from one of those states. And that is essentially what he was doing. He was living in Nevada while he won the tournament, and so he went to cash out, and Ignition Casino said and they just basically paid out the tournament as if he never played it. So second place got first place, third place got second place cash out, so on down the line. And so there's a lot more to the story, but that is essentially the outcome, is that he now, the reason he got a little bit of money and he didn't just get completely screwed is basically because he had agreed to chop the pot with the second place winner while he was playing. And so they had a side deal around the winnings, and so he got some money out of that, basically. Ace 6 from this position I don't think is playable. Cut off ace 9. Yeah. So there's a lot more to the story. If you want to go look at it, go, you can Google him, Matt Vaughn. He's on Twitch, he's on YouTube. But it was pretty interesting hearing that update. He posted that update to YouTube like hours, just 2 or 3 hours ago, about that whole story, like the whole outcome of the tournament. So, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have there's no moral to that story other than don't play Ignition Casino from a state where you're not allowed to. Thankfully, I am allowed to play Ignition Casino from Oregon, so I should be good. Just a filler story while we're waiting for a good hand to play. But yeah, it is pretty wild. Yeah. But it's also interesting, like he is basically a full-time poker professional. He just plays poker for a living. And like Ignition Casino isn't even one of his main sites that he does. He just kind of this was like a 3rd or 4th choice. And it's interesting like how much time and study these guys put into winning these. Like, it's kind of like I heard in an interview Zach Galifianakis, the guy who like got famous from the Hangover movies. He described, like, basically somebody asked him like, how did you make it? How did you get so how did you just explode all of a sudden? And he's like, 30 years of hard work, and then one day it just comes out of nowhere. And that's what these poker guys do. I mean, like tournaments, there's a large amount of luck in tournaments, but they are working their ass off every day, studying, getting coached, mentoring other people. Like this guy, like on his YouTube video, like he listed like 3 or 4 people in his thank yous of people who are basically like teaching him and mentoring him and coaching him. I don't think we call there. So that's just something, I don't know. I have a lot of respect for the guys who play full-time poker and actually take it seriously like he does. I mean, I feel bad that like he was playing in a legal gray area, so that's kind of on him. I don't really feel bad about that, but I have a lot of respect for the amount of work that they put in to like have a chance or be at that level. Because that's kind of the other crazy thing is like you work so hard, but you still have no real guarantee that you're going to make it. 2-3 suited. We could play this. Let's do it. We're bored. We haven't played any hands in a while. This is in the you can play this if you're in a wild and crazy mood. Now, I guess I should have looked because I didn't realize there were 2 other limpers. I guess this would be what is called a polarized position here. So we are, we make a pair of 2s. Not great. Let's see what happens here. So we start off with a polarized hand. He checks. Okay, I'm gonna bet once. Actually, let's ask the RNG. If it's above 50, we're gonna bet. Okay. Is he gonna fold? I'm basically betting my range here. I don't actually have a good hand, but the dealer spot in this should have a decent hand. Now we are not looking good here. He makes the flush. If he called, he probably has something decent. We're gonna check for pot control, meaning we don't want the pot to get any bigger. And a 10 comes up. He probably doesn't have. So there's 2 pairs. We have 2 pair. Imagine the quality of money and accessibility of online support people on quite a few tiers down from the top pros. Let's see. Ah, we get it with a pair of twos. Okay. I bet he's not happy about that. Accessibility of online support people. Or, not sure what you mean by on quite a few tiers down. But yes, the people who he is hiring, like he is hiring people to coach him. He's not is not charity. So yeah, I mean the quality of those top tier people are very high tier, like, but he pays them a lot of money. And actually, there are some poker schools that you can go to, and you Landon Tice, another like popular poker player right now, making the online rounds. And I read his blog, and he went to this like basically full-time poker school, and it was like a year-long program. And what happens is that while you're in school, you have to play with your own money. But once you graduate, they stake you, meaning they give you money to play with, but they take a percentage of your profits when you do play. And it's something pretty big, like 40% or 60%, I forget. And so, yeah, I mean, the world of professional poker, it's crazy. And so, yeah, you are, the quality of instruction there is very good. Like NBA players do well, G League players do pretty well, but there aren't a lot of professional basketball players in the scope of things. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. It's I mean, the guys who are at the very upper echelon, it's a small world, right? So we get 3-bet. I think this could be a call. I don't actually, ace king offsuit feels not great. We are under the gun, out of position. My chart says to 4-bet it. But I'm gonna call. I don't know if that's a good. I mean, I guess this is why you don't call. Now we have the flush draw. He checks, so I guess I'm gonna bet. He could be trapping us here with. I don't like this at all. We split the pot. Okay. Poker, I think, has more layers/tiers of people making a living. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yeah. I actually watched a recent I watched a documentary that was made in like 2013. And shoot, I forget the name now. But it is essentially about people who are making their living playing poker online. But they started filming the documentary before all of the online poker places got shut down in the US. And so it was pretty interesting because they kind of got to capture like what life was before everything got shut down and then what life became after, and the trauma that it essentially caused these people who were playing for a living online when they essentially, when the government came in and shut down all the online sites in, what was that, like 2013? The government essentially seized the funds too, and well, kind of, sort of. So I should say they didn't seize the funds of Poker Stars, but but the other site, Full Tilt Poker, ended up being operating as a Ponzi scheme, and so they didn't actually have money to pay people back, and so the government had to kind of seize those assets once they realized what was happening. Because what these online poker sites, they were offshore, but the US has control of the DNS infrastructure, so they seized the domain names. And But anyways, so people had had hundreds of thousands of dollars on these online poker sites, and for all they knew, lost it all. And it kind of wrecked a lot of people. It was interesting because so like if you were playing on PokerStars at the time, you got your money back. It just took 6 months. If you were playing Full Tilt, whose operators actually basically stole / embezzled the player money, you only got a percentage of your money back. So that was interesting because it's not really the government's fault that they were, and the government didn't know at the time. But then once they seized the domain names, all the house of cards kind of came tumbling down. Okay, so ace 3 in the small blind. And we are kind of opening here? No. I saw that tweet and ended up reading an article about it. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, because I had played PokerStars before it was shut down in the US. I didn't play it very much or very often. Like, it was just kind of... I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And then at the time, 2013, I was living in San Luis Obispo, and I was living in a house with 3 other guys, and one of those guys was trying to make a living playing poker at the time that it was shut down and lost like $100,000, and it was supposed to be his down payment for his house. So he was married with a kid on the way and living in a house with 3 other guys because he lost all his money. That was pretty wild. I think he's doing good now. And I'm sure that he got like at least a portion of his money back, so that's good. But still, yeah, that would at the time I just felt really bad for him. Like, not much else you can do. Try to make life comfortable for him as well as I could at the time. I don't know. Yeah. All right, so we finally got a hand here. Ace 10 suited from the cutoff. We'll play it. See what happens. And we get 1 fold, 2 fold. Maybe this guy's been wild. He's been calling pretty much everything. And he donk bets it. He has king, probably, yeah, I think we let this go. That wise? I don't know. I'm looking at my notes for him. It says calls fold. The called 2-bet from blinds range with Jack 2 suited, 9-6 off suited, limp and called a raise, Queen 3 suited. So he has a drunk range, but I don't think I've actually seen him donk bet like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, my statistics don't tell us like how many times he donk bets, but it says that he's c-bet a flop only once so far, and I think it was that one time. So I'm guessing that that donk bet is a sign of strength, and that we just needed to get out of the way. I don't think I'm continuing without the nuts there. Or something decent. Just a pair of 10s, not quite, and an ace draw is not quite enough. I mean, looking at this now, like he's donk betting again, so maybe he's just... Maybe I fell for a bluff. I'm gonna put that in the review queue, and we will see what we should have done there. Definitely possible we fell for it. Alright. So we got about 20 minutes left on our countdown timer. It's actually 4:50 already. I'm actually considering just calling it, maybe switching to explanation time mode. And then try to head out in time for dinner here pretty soon. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Let's go one more orbit. How about that? So when this guy becomes dealer again, we'll call it. Five, 2, 2, 5, 7. So ace high probably is winning it here, but there is a flush draw, and this guy is trying to figure out if he can make money off of his 2 clubs, possibly. I don't think he is. I want to see somebody call him. Yeah, okay. Just a pure bluff. 3 king versus 3 queen. I definitely should have called him on that hand earlier. I just didn't want to lose all my money to a coin flip. When he's donk betting like that, usually it's a sign of strength, but I guess this guy is just wild. Feel like I played it right if he was a normal opponent. Okay, small blind, 8-9 offsuit. Actually, 9-8 offsuit is we would open that. Oddly enough. Now, facing a limp. I'm going into a bigger stack. We just let it go. This guy should check. 5, 6, 6. So our 8-9 would have had a straight draw. I'm gonna punch this in and see what our equity was. 5, 6, 6 with 8, 9 against our drunk range. We would only have 34% equity right now with our 8-9 offsuit against the drunk range. You know, that's something like I've been trying to study drunk ranges basically. Like I've just been like punching in my Flopzilla like, okay, what if this guy is literally playing 65% of his hands or 80% of his hands? This guy is playing 80% of his hands. That's what the stats say. So yeah, against 80% of the hands, we only have 35% equity. So I'm a-okay letting that one go. That is something I've had to do with these low stakes, is do some calculations on and simulations against drunk opponents. And oddly enough, the math is a little different. So you need to be aware of what your opponent's doing, even if you know. So I guess my point is, like, my studying all assumes sane opponents, and so, or like I should say, most of my resources that I am studying assumes a sane opponent. If it is a drunk opponent, I need to figure out how to adjust. That was kind of throwing me. I don't know if you remember, like a few streams ago, or back when I started streaming poker, that was a big problem. And so now I kind of have like a better, I'm getting a better idea of like what a good response is. And basically, you know, you are at a disadvantage when the board is like pretty mixed. If there's lots of numbers on the board or lots of like low cards, you're not doing great. But if you have high cards and there's high cards on the board, you're doing pretty good. And so then the response, and so the other thing, so there's that plus betting big essentially to try and get them to fold is the other thing that the solver will do. So the solver will bet and even rebet, like re-raise a donk bet, but that's assuming you have something. So I'm actually curious about that ace-10 suited hand from earlier. I feel like that was the one where I could have potentially, I bet the solver says to bet that hard. I'm really curious now. I might look at that one later. Unfortunately, my solver takes too much memory, so even with 32 gigs of RAM, solver kind of falls over when I'm streaming and trying to actually run a simulation. Unless I do like, unless I make it the tree so simple that it doesn't really reflect reality. So, all right, Jack 2 suited. No. Okay, so we have one more hand. Once this guy is the button, that'll be our last hand. We'll go into explanation mode and see if we can just dig into at least one or two interesting hands and see what, if we made any big blunders. Okay. This player 6 has been playing, he has put money into the pot 35 out of the last 44 hands that it's keeping track of. That's kind of wild. So 80%, his VPIP is 80%. Normal, a sane opponent, you're expecting like 20 to 30. Below 20 is like too tight. Below 30 he's like too aggressive. 80 is, he's drunk. I don't know what else to say. Or he's just, I mean, maybe he has some pro micro stake strat that he thinks is working for him. But considering he is below 100 big blinds, I am above above 100 big blinds. I say scoreboard. All right, so let's see what happens here. 5 queen, 7 8. Yeah, these guys are literally just playing any single card that they get. 5 queen offsuit. That is yeah, it's in my drunk range at least, so at least my drunk range is somewhat accurate. Okay. Well, that was it. He will watch this last hand and then we'll kind of switch into explanation mode for a little bit. Okay. So we would have had a straight draw, low pair. Gosh, feels like low pair is gonna beat all these guys. Okay. This guy's like scooping all these small pots, but I can't imagine he's profitable in the long run. Okay, so we will call it. We were up 30 big blinds again. This is not too bad for 1 hour. We will, so let's switch hands here, or switch modes here. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Explanation time. So, we'll pull up Flopzilla. I'm gonna pull up my poker tracker, and we will look at a hand and see what. Look for some hands we want to review. I am still pretty curious about this ace-10 actually. Let's take a look. This is where we got out drunk guide. Okay. Yeah, I guess we don't know his full cards. Okay, so we open with ace-10 suited. We get a call from big blind, and the flop is king 6-10. He donk bets. I fold. So first we will take a look at this. So, well, actually, okay. So let's just skip to the flop, and we're gonna use our drunk guy range. So this is our 80% drunk guy range, which I think is pretty accurate for how he's been playing so far. And we have ace-10 of hearts, and the flop came king club, 6 spades, 10 diamonds. King club, 6 spades, 10 diamonds. So now unfortunately, let's see here. Do this. There we go. Now it's a little easier for you guys to read. So this says we have 72% equity there. Actually didn't think we had nearly that much. Now he donk bet. So what? So we say that he has, let's just give him everything except nothing. Although he's been playing a lot of nothing, so honestly, we could just, hey J-Art, thanks for catching the end of the stream. We are just going into explanation mode on one weird hand. Yeah, in this weird hand we folded, we had ace 10 of hearts, we had a pair of tens, and the guy donked bet, so he bet before I got a chance to bet, and I folded, and I think that fold was a mistake. And I think that the math is telling us that suspicion is correct, that we had 72% chance of winning there. Given that he has been playing like nearly every single hand he's been dealt. So now if we try to tighten his range up a little bit, like let's give him like the my low end of the drunk range, 50%. We have 68% equity, and he was giving us 25% pot odds, so yeah, we definitely should have called there. That was definitely a mistake. Hi, Fat Dino Stuffy. Yeah, T-Rex. I propped T-Rex on the back of the couch just specifically for the stream, and also for work calls, because this is the same camera that I use for Zoom on work, and so everybody at work gets to see T-Rex as well as the stream. It makes me happy when I have to look at myself on Zoom and I go, okay, well at least T-Rex is there helping me out, making me look good. So yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know if there's much else analysis we can do. I mean, we can see like, okay, maybe let's tighten his hand and say let's get rid of the nothing hands. So if we get rid of the nothing hands, we still have 61% equity. We could probably have re-raised him there, and I actually, he probably would have folded, honestly. I mean, alternatively, he had some sort of sleeper hand that he was laughing all the way to the bank with, and that is the disadvantage, you know, or that's the problem with the drunk villains, right? Is that there is some percentage of the time that he's going to have aces, kings, queens, jacks. And if he plays them exactly the same as he plays all his other hands, like his king 2, jack 2, then his strategy works. He gets these like giant, you know, he gets a giant payoff once every 100 hands or something silly like that. And I was hoping, I've been kind of playing conservative poker so that I do not get tilted by these weird coin flip situations. And so I think that's been working for me. I'd rather have a little slow and steady progress. But this was definitely, I think, at least one more bet. Anyways, yeah, let's see if there's one more hand to look at. Let's look at a winning hand, because we don't do that very often. And I want to know if we did some of the right things on some of these. Sometimes the winning hands we might actually be making mistakes on some of these winning hands. So let's see. So here we had 9-5 offsuit, so definitely not a great hand. And we get 1 limp, 2 limps, 3 limps, and then we check. I don't see much wrong with the check there. This basically would have been a fold otherwise. And then we get ace, king, 9. So let's check our calculations here. So against more, let's give a midway drunk villain. Only kind of drunk. Mainly because we have 3 other people in the pot, so actually, okay, so this is interesting. So we have, other than me, 1, 2, 3 other people in the pot, right? So if we switch to multiplayer mode here, and okay, so I'm gonna add, we're gonna do this guy, and we're gonna do that guy. And so there's 3 people in the pot, and then we have ace-10 suited. So this math actually looks a bit different. This is saying because there's so many other people in the pot, it's basically an even Steven right now. Now let's put in our the board here. So it was king of spades, ace of clubs, 9 of spades. Now suddenly we're looking pretty good. Now, so we have 60% equity here. Let's see what... so I check. Interesting. So I probably could have bet there. And then a second 9 comes. So... oh, oops. I put in the wrong hands here. Okay, we did not have ace-10. We had 9-5. 9-5 offsuit. Okay, so with 9-5 offsuit, we have 16% equity. So a check is good. And then a second 9 comes, so the 9 of clubs. And suddenly we have 73% equity. I guess this wasn't, now I check here. And I think that's, yeah, you know. So what I'm looking at is here is with the 9, I had 16% equity. The other 2 drunk guys actually are ahead of me. I didn't bet. That's probably not bad. But then the second 9, I'm so far ahead. I was thinking that I need to let them catch up, and that's why I didn't bet. But honestly, I probably could have gotten a bunch more money out of them, and probably should have bet. So it checks all around, and then a 2 of spades is basically a brick, so nobody, which means nobody improves. And so we're looking at like 67% equity here. And then so yeah, we just bet. And we didn't even bet very big. And we get 3 calls, or 2 other calls. So I think that we definitely should have bet the turn. And we get it. All right. I don't think there is... I think we did decently today. We did that. We had that one mistake here that we called out earlier. But other than that, not too bad. This is our 2 review hands. If we look at everything, our summary is that we made $1.48 today, which is about 30 big blinds. So not too bad. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call it for today and have some dinner. Thank you, JR and 64Ninja, for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. No guarantees that I'll be on tomorrow, but I'll try for my normal Wednesday through Friday schedule. And talk to you all